Hey guys, it's Alana and welcome back for another episode of Seeing Other People. I am so excited about today's guest, my new favorite song. And you guys know how once I like a song, I listen to it on repeat forever and ever and ever until I find a new song months later that I listen to on repeat. I have not stopped listening to Boys Will Be Boys. It is such an anthem. It's like you hurt me, but screw you. I'm gonna move on and I'm gonna be better. And this was not my fault. Fuckboy anthem, basically. And it's called Boys Will Be Boys, and it is amazing. And it is by the amazing Maryon King. She is a singer and songwriter. She's also co-written and vocaled songs for Afrojack and Tiesto and Martin Jensen. So epic. So if you haven't heard her, yes, you have. But she is so amazing and she is such a force and so, incredible in empowering women and people to, know their worth. And I know we're going to talk a lot about fuckboys in this episode and the concept of boys will be boys and all that. But you guys know I've said this before, fuckboy is just fuck person. And, in this example, we're talking about boys, but it can really relate to anyone. So you guys know me. I'm not a screw men type of person. Guys, love you all. And I never want anybody to think that. So just wanted to give that little disclaimer before we get into the episode. But this episode is so great and really special. We talk about, a lot about situationships and how we get stuck in them. We talk about whether, once a fuckboy, always a fuckboy, or can people change? We talk about exes coming back and reaching out after the fact and what that means and how to, respond to that. We talk about, combating the feeling of being unworthy and how to know your worth and how to stop putting up with things that don't serve you and people who don't serve you. We talk about the concept of changing people and if people can change and so much more. I am such a fan of Maryon. I'm such a fan of Boys Will Be Boys. Oh my God. If you guys haven't seen me posting about it yet, now you'll realize this is the song that has been behind every single TikTok I've posted lately. So let's get into it. Maryon King, Boys Will Be Boys. Let's do it. All right, we are here. Maryon King, welcome to Seeing Other People.
Thank you so much.
I am so excited to have you here. There's so much I want to talk about. Before we get into all of it, before we get into the Boys Will Be Boys of it all, can you just give us a little background on who you are and, what you're all about and what you're kind of doing with Boys Will Be Boys and your experiences?
Yeah, so I'm Maryon King. I'm a singer-songwriter. I am currently based from London, LA. I actually recently moved to LA to do music and do some sessions over there. But I'm still finding myself coming back to London all the time. And I've worked on music for a long time. I just released a single called Boys Will Be Boys. Finally, after so many months of teasing the song on TikTok, just everyone wanted me to release it. So now it's finally out in the world and I'm really, really excited for everyone to have it. Yes.
It's out. It's here.
It's
out.
Real. It's us. After 3 months of teasing it.
It's so funny. I saw you responded to somebody's TikTok asking why did it take so long? And it's there is so much that goes on behind the scenes in order to get a song actually out.
Goodness. But yeah, because it wasn't in the plans really. I mean, I wrote this song with 2 other girls in LA. We wrote the song under literally was under 3 hours. And wow. I was just you know what? I'm just going to post a snippet on TikTok, see if people like it. And then, got 500,000 views straight away. I was okay, well.
People like it a little.
People seem to like the song.
People like it.
Yeah. So my manager called me up. She was okay, we really need to figure this out and just try and finish it and then put the song out. But yeah, everything, the process is long, it takes a while from the mixing, the mastering, do the artwork, do, everything that concerns the song. So, it took a while, but now it's out.
Now it's out. Okay. So Boys Will Be Boys is literally the ultimate get over the fuckboy anthem.
Seriously. I mean, it's supposed to be a female, empowerment type of song. And when I wrote it, I was just really frustrated because I was in this sort of situationship. I first started dating someone and I was I have no idea where this is going. So, when it's it's either hell yes or hell no when it comes to dating. And this guy was a hell no because I was so confused about our dating sort of story. I was like, does this guy like me? He seems interested, but at the same time, he's not. And I was just like, yeah, boys will be boys. I'm like, why am I dating someone who's immature when I could go for someone who's like a little bit older, more
Right.
mature, with head on the shoulders. So it's, yeah, I guess the song is about this really shitty situationship you get stuck in when you first start dating someone.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned like it's either a hell yes or it's a hell no, but I feel like we say that, but we don't act on that. And that's how we get stuck in these
That's
situationships that
actually
like
so.
ruin us.
Yeah, because you actually, I feel like they did studies and they showed that the brain wants what they can't have. So we're always attracted to people who might treat us like they are not fully in. Because if I had a guy texting me all the time, like, good morning, my lovely, or like, good night, whatever, and it was always there giving me the attention, I'd be like, ugh, like I'm over you.
Right.
So we always want something that's a little bit that puts us on the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's why we keep on going back to the same situations as girls. Yeah.
Do you think a situationship, once you're in this kind of unknown territory, do you think that could ever actually turn into a relationship? Or like once a situationship, you're kind of doomed?
Oh my god. Actually, this is an interesting question. I think if you get into the situationship, that type of zone, it's very hard to get to the relationship because you I think a woman knows from the very start, like you always have to trust your gut feeling when it comes to dating someone. And if you want to play around, for sure, you can just stay in the situationship. If you want something serious, just like us women, we know, like we have that gut feeling that it's just the absolute best. It's like that sixth sense, you can't, it's you can't get wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So, okay, when you were, in this situationship that inspired the song Boys Will Be Boys, were you thinking like, all right, I know something's wrong here, but I want to see if I can, get through it and get to that other side and make it work? Or were you, did you have that gut feeling of like, this isn't going anywhere?
I definitely had that gut feeling. Yet I was staying there for like a little bit, and then when I got frustrated, that's when the song happened, and that's why I wrote. Boys will be boys will be boys will be poison. They turn you into toys and then play with your emotions. Is the literal fuckboy anthem.
Yeah.
It's like they see you for like an object, which I absolutely hate. But I definitely knew. It doesn't happen to me a lot because I'm more of a serious, I guess, dating person. Like I like being in relationship, but
Mhm.
I've been through that a few times too. So I was like, yeah, super frustrated. I was like, and then I wrote the song with the female gang too. So we all knew what was going on. It wasn't
Right.
a session with another guy and then another girl. It was all female. And that's why the energy was so good. And we wrote this super quickly. Yeah.
I love that. I want to read some other lyrics from the song that really stuck out to me
Yeah.
because I feel like they really encompass, what we feel when we're in dating situations and when we're trying to, find that person and end up feeling like shit. I'm about to get
Exactly.
hurt. So, but every time I give a little, thinking this time would be different till you took a bite out of my heart. So that kind of makes me question, how do you or how did you in this case, like get out of this situation and then let yourself trust somebody after this? Like, how do you, move forward and say, like, okay, this is a new person. Maybe this time it will be different without
That's
having that
cool.
kind of cloud over your head of like, every single time this is going to keep happening to me.
But because you know what, like we always see the potential in people and we see what they could become. And that's why we try to give more and more and more until we're exhausted and we're like, okay, well, this is not working. And it's always the same thing. And this is the problem. We shouldn't see the potential in someone. We should just trust the flags, the green flags, the red flags, all sorts of colors, and then, decide whether we want to be with them or not. And that's why I'm like, every time I give a little thinking this time would be different, but it actually never happens because you always get stuck in the situation if you don't see the signs.
Yeah.
You have to trust the science, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. You
Yeah.
have to.
It's
Yeah.
so hard when we want something to work so badly that we'll kind of like ignore them or, give people the benefit of the doubt. And like, I'm the queen of giving people the benefit of the doubt to a
Really?
point
Oh
where it
my
hurts
God.
me. Yeah,
So you've had that
absolutely.
before many times.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, so many times. I mean, I thankfully like I ended up in a like amazing relationship and I feel really lucky for that, but
I'm
it
jealous.
definitely it'll happen. Trust me, I went through my fair share of shit
Oh
before
my.
getting here.
Oh
So
my.
I feel like I put in my
Yeah.
hours and it was earned in a way.
Oh Jesus. But see, like you get the bad until you get the
The
good,
good.
and you know actually what you want after you like study all of them. Like, what did I do wrong in here and here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask. I saw a post on your TikTok of a text from your ex
Oh
that
my goodness.
says, Maryon, I stumbled across your TikTok as I was remembering the good times we had and just seen you wrote a fuckboy song about me. LOL. I mean, come on, really. I'm sorry I made you feel that way, but that song is an exaggeration. I don't know what to say.
Ta da da da. What the actual fuck? No, I actually just got this text randomly because we stopped texting for a long time. And I don't know, he kind of, and he's not even on TikTok. This is the thing. I'm like, how did you stumble on my TikTok and send me this huge ass text about, I'm just like, you just want attention. He came back with that text. He clearly, I mean, he's claiming that's about him. Typical, sort of narcissist. I'm like, yeah, I'm back. I'm trying to get back into your life because I'm seeing, you posted a song about me, but I think it's ridiculous. No, I mean, and I was like, I told the people on TikTok, guys, should I reply to this? Should I just keep you all entertained and like see what he replies back? So we shall see. It's just annoying when they all come back. Like they literally all come back. It's so
Yeah.
annoying.
It's funny like that he's not on TikTok because I can imagine like so people saw this and sent it to him.
Oh my God, yeah. That's probably it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what happened.
But you know what? Honestly, like props to him for like realizing, oh shit, this is probably about me and hopefully like registering like, oh, I did something wrong here.
Yeah. But it's not, he's like, I don't know what to say. He says, like, it's an exaggeration. He's assuming that song is about him. I'm like, you're not the only guy I've dated.
True.
Hello.
Very, very, very
So,
true.
sorry, babes. Like, I am, who tells you that's about you? I just,
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
it is about him, but,
Right.
let's face it. But
like you don't
just
want him to have that satisfaction.
absolutely not. So that's why I'm just probably going to reply and keep everyone entertained.
Oh, please
See
do.
what, like,
I'm ready. I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't wait. I
maybe
need to see this.
you can help me figure out the next text. Like,
Yes.
what would you say back?
It depends, I think, what what message you want to get across.
Just be like, not everything revolves around him type of energy. It's he fucked up, so now he's coming back, and what is he trying to get from that text? Attention. He wants to trying to mend things with me. Like, what's the
Right.
goal? Like, what's the goal?
It's also in a way like this isn't about him. Like, yes, it's based on something that he did and actions he did, but it's really about how it impacted you and how you want to now move forward and, process and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We don't have time for those type of boys.
Yeah.
Boys will be boys.
Literally will be boys. No, I mean, honestly, if it were me, I would, and I wanted him to, not necessarily think it's about him, but also maybe like leave him questioning. I think I'd say something along the lines of like, hey, not everything is about you. But if you think that it could be, then maybe you need to do some self-reflection on how you treated me.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah.
That is actually spicy. This is what I'm going to say. I think you should do some reflection. You should look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself, I'm a boy and I need to become a man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we don't do any more boy dating. We date mature men from now on. Yes.
We try to. Okay,
We'll
speaking.
put in the universe.
Yes. Speaking of, what has been going on in your dating life since the situationship ended?
Oh my God. Well, to be honest, I've taken some time off to actually do that reflection of myself. So
That's great.
like, just taking some time off, really focus on music, focus on getting the song done, doing all the artwork. I've traveled a lot. I was in LA, and then I came back to London. And then I went to Sicily to film some content for the single, and really, really focused on just, I know it sounds cliche, but becoming the best version of myself. After breakups, they say like with every breakup, the girl becomes hotter and, better. And this is why, I want to focus on my glow after the last one. So yeah, a lot of time with myself, and I'm still on the dating apps, but nothing has really struck me yet. Like nothing.
But
No.
there's nothing wrong with that, because I think you're doing everything that you should be doing and everything that you can be doing, to end up in a better position next time.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, especially like after a situationship like this or after getting hurt. I think some people want to jump right back into dating to, find that person that doesn't hurt them and to prove to themselves like they can be loved and they can
Yeah.
have good experiences. But I think oftentimes when you jump back in, like you're not ready.
You're not ready. And this is what I did, straight after I broke up. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's time for me to go back into dating. So I was on Hinge and Tinder, and I was like, let me see what's out there. But I went a few dates, and I just kind of like, I got burnt out. I was like, feel like I'm not ready for this. It's too soon. So I feel like after a breakup, it's good to give yourself some time to actually take care of yourself. It more than you like heal, take care of yourself, get in the best shape, the best diet, the best everything. And then when you're ready mentally as well as physically, then you can start,
Yeah.
maybe
Cause
see
also I
something.
think all of those things help you, know your worth.
Yeah.
And that's so important in terms of not letting people walk all over you and not letting people treat you like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like if you don't give yourself that time to reflect, and you're gonna jump probably in the same situation you've had before.
Yeah.
Then this is what usually happens. So, a time for myself is always good, and I actually love that. So maybe soon I'll be ready to
Maybe. And you
maybe.
know what? Now people know. Now any guy that dates you knows what they can't do to you.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? Yeah, that's actually true. I've never thought about that like that. Now they know, oh, Marion, you're a musician. Let me see your music that's out. And then this that comes up in that playlist. I'm like, okay, I need to behave.
Yep. Well, it's so funny because
Be better.
I
Yeah.
definitely had experiences like that too, like with the podcast. And, I had guys ask like, oh, are you going to, talk about me on the podcast? Are you going to make a meme about me and post it on Hinge? And it's like,
Oh my God.
I would jokingly be like, I mean, if you do something to deserve it, but I would never actually like, I definitely didn't want, people to not
Yeah.
want to date me because of that. But I also, it was really empowering for me to have my past dating experiences out there for, these guys to listen to and them to be like, damn, like she has been really hurt before. And clearly that's impacted her. And I don't want to be somebody to do this to her because now I can actually like hear the effect that has.
Yeah. Yeah, but also, it kind of puts you on a different level because you're aware of your
Yeah.
standards and what you allow and what you can't allow in your life. And I think that's such a power to have.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, it takes a long time to get there, but it's an amazing power to have.
Yeah.
Know your worth, know what your standards are, and if they can't meet them, then boy, bye.
Exactly. And it's like, it's so much harder than it sounds to like say boy bye. But at the same time, if you know what you want, then you know what you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's absolutely, I mean, my case. And to be honest, I mean, having high standards is actually a good thing because that filters out a lot of sort of bad people that
Yeah.
you might start dating. So having standards keep the bad boys out there at bay, and then you can allow the good people to come into your life. And it's all about energies, at the same time.
Yeah,
It's all about
absolutely.
energy too. Yeah.
So I have to ask, what have your dating app experiences been like?
My dating, oh my goodness. Okay, what dating app are we talking about?
Whichever one you want to go for.
Actually, okay, so I'm going to be positive and say, I mean, Tinder has been great. I mean, it hasn't I haven't dated a lot of people from Tinder, but all my experiences have been quite good. I've had one relationship from Tinder. I've had one before. And then, like dating has been great. And then I got Hinge actually recently, I think it was 2 months ago, 2 months ago. And I mean, it was a disaster. I mean, the whole I mean, the first date with this guy was an absolute disaster. Like, I was wearing white. He brought his dog. I hope he's not listening to this. He brought his dog to the date. I was wearing white. The dog jumped on me. I was like fully covered in
Oh
stains.
my
We went to
God.
this. I mean, I'm not a vegetarian or vegan, so but he decided to go to a vegan restaurant because the dog was allowed in the restaurant, and I got that. I was like
Do
completely
you
fine.
like dogs?
I absolutely love dogs. They're my favorite
Okay.
animal.
Okay.
Favorite animal. I just thought, for the first date, like bringing this huge dog, like it was a little, I don't know. It was like a little bit weird, and he started drinking a lot during the date. So I was like, okay, well, Hinge, delete.
What I have to ask, like, what are the reputations of these apps in the UK? Because obviously I know in the US it's like Hinge is, you could definitely end up in situationships forever from Hinge, but it's technically for, people who want relationships.
Relationship.
And Tinder is really known as like a hookup app. Like for maybe in the last 5 years, I don't know anybody who's actually like used Tinder and met somebody off of it here.
I actually had my longest relationship you met this guy from Tinder.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Yeah. I was with this guy for 2 years and a half,
Wow.
and I met him from Tinder. So that's why I went back to that app, because I was like, well, I got a serious
It worked
relationship
for
out
you.
of it.
Yeah.
So it actually worked for me. Maybe I might be one of the few. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. Well, that's why I asked, like, what the reputation is.
Yeah, so Tinder, everyone knows. I feel like everyone tells me Tinder is a hookup app. But
Okay.
if you're really good at filtering,
Yeah.
then you might end up with someone nice. I think people in the UK use Bumble a lot. I've never used that app before. But all my friends have had good experiences with it.
Mhm.
And yeah, Hinge. I think Hinge too. I don't really know. I can't tell you because I'm not an experienced Hinge person.
Well, I love that this
Yeah.
has been your experience because I think it's so important for people to, hear that and realize like there's not one right way to use apps. And there's not necessarily like just because an app works for your friend doesn't mean it's going to work for
Yeah.
you. So people always ask me, like, what app should they get on? And I'm like, try a few different ones and see
That's
what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best thing ever. You get three, you download three one day, and then you go on to a different date with each, like a app, different person from each app, and then see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Yeah, but I'm not a dating expert. I guess I have no idea. For myself, I don't know which one is best.
And
Like
that's
I'm
okay. You don't need to know.
Yeah.
You
I
don't need to
don't.
know.
What do you think is the best one? What would you say is the best one?
For me personally, I had the most success off of Hinge. I had Bumble. I mean, I had Tinder in like 2012 when I was like in college and not actually
Wow.
like meeting people. But
Yeah.
I never actually went on a date from Bumble. And like I had J Swipe, which was one of the Jewish apps, and like all these other apps. And the only app I actually personally had success on was Hinge. And that is the app that I met my boyfriend on.
Oh, I
And
love that for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that was nice for me. Like even, before I worked at Hinge, I was like, oh, like this is the app that I use and that I think works for me. So great. And then, I met him on Hinge after I was no longer working there. So it was kind of this like nice full circle moment. But again, I have friends who use Hinge who have had absolutely no success. And I have friends who have had so much success on Bumble and on Coffee Meets Bagel and these like maybe like little, like smaller, more specific apps like Locks Club and Foreplay. So there are so many. It's like millions of cats, like millions of apps, and you gotta find the one that works for you.
That's true. Yeah. So maybe, just because you said that, maybe I should give it a go.
Maybe. You never
Maybe I
know.
should try it.
And you know what, if you end up meeting your person on
Yeah,
it,
I'd
I will
imagine.
be waiting for
Yeah.
the wedding invitation.
It's happening, girl. It's happening. We put that in the universe.
Yes. Okay. So kind of switching gears, I want to go back to Boys Will Be Boys for a bit. What is, I know it just came out, but in
Yep.
the process of writing it, of the last few months, teasing it and hearing people's reactions to it, what has been like the biggest lesson you've learned from Boys Will Be Boys as a whole?
In terms of like lyrics or when I wrote it or like from putting it on TikTok in
Both,
general.
either.
I mean, I just learned, from putting it on TikTok, I just learned that you can't really predict what people will like as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes think I'm just going to post a song on TikTok and, it's one of the most emotional ones and I love it so much and then no one cares.
Right.
And then when I actually think the song is okay and it's actually not that great and I post it, it actually takes off. So yeah, TikTok is unpredictable, but I absolutely love the platform. I think it just gave me a little like boost in confidence as an artist, and it made me realize that it's easier to reach people out there on that app than on Instagram, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Because
Totally.
Instagram now it's sort of harder to predict and manage. So yeah, absolutely love that, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like girls really connected to Boys Will Be Boys just because, especially girls for like 17 to like 28 or something like that, because we've all been through those situationships. We've all had at least once. So that's why it's kind of like it connects all of us together. And I've got my female gang on TikTok who is absolutely amazing, and they all love this song, and they're all like, I'm blasting it in my car, like I'm sending this to my ex, or oh my god, this is healing me because I've been through this recently. And actually feels so good to give someone a song that helps them to get over someone or make them feel better. And it just, I don't know, it makes me feel fulfilled in a way. Yeah.
I love that so much. And
So
when I
yeah.
listened to it, I was like, damn, I like wish I was going through a breakup right now, or I wish like some guy just fucked me over so I could like scream this. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm going to add it to my workout playlist because I think it like really like gives you that energy.
Yes.
Do you have any songs that have, been that for you, like going through a breakup or helping you get through a really tough time or get over somebody?
Oh my God. So recently, I've rediscovered, it's probably not for months, I've been obsessed with Arctic Monkeys. I absolutely love them. I've just seen them at Reading Festival. That's why my voice is currently fucked because I was in the crowd screaming so loud every song, and it was one of the best experiences ever. So Arctic Monkeys, absolute favorites. Definitely helped me get over a lot of people in my past.
Yeah, I love that.
Then what do I have? Madonna. Madonna is always my number one. Lord, Liability. That song is so good. Julia Michaels. I'm a huge fan of Julia Michaels. Like all her songs are so good. Like post breakup, best songs ever. And who else? Yeah. I have like a varied music taste. I feel like I listen to, I went from Arctic Monkeys to Madonna,
yeah,
to
I was
Lord,
just thinking
to
that.
Julia Michaels. Like there's like all sorts of music.
I just pulled up the last like really difficult breakup that I went through was I guess in like 2019 or 2018. I just pulled up my playlist that I listened to on repeat during that time. It's called Feeling Good in all caps, good with like 5 O's in the middle and 3 exclamation points at the end.
Oh my God, love. So what's on your playlist?
No Tears Left to Cry. It's very basic compared to yours, but No Tears Left to Cry. Like that came out right in time. And I'm like, I'll keep crying, but soon I'll have no tears left to cry.
Oh, I love that song. That's actually a good one.
Yeah. Heart to Break, Kim Petras. Love her. Love that song. Young Blood, 5 Seconds of Summer.
Oh my God, Youngblood. Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I listened to
Summer. Oh.
I listened to those songs on repeat.
Same.
And I haven't listened to them since. I can't.
You can't, yeah, because it kind of brings you back to.
I just associate them with that. Yeah. It's
That's do
crazy.
you think that's crazy what music can do? Like in our brain?
It's
It's
the
like
most
ridiculous.
mind-blowing thing in the world. It's so beautiful though. It's so mind-blowing how much like emotion hearing a song can elicit.
Yeah. That's so true. I mean, and but sometimes, you get to a point where like you actually hate the song
Yeah.
because it reminds you of them. And I have like few songs like that. I'm just like, oh, like some Adele tracks. Adele was one of my, she is still one of my biggest, most incredible female artists like in the world. She's an absolute legend. But growing up, like Set Fire to the Rain, I can't listen to that song anymore.
Yeah.
I can't because like I associate that with my first young love, and I literally I'm like Set Fire to the Rain, pass.
And you say that song, and now I just remember driving home in high school from my high school
Yeah.
boyfriend's house. It was playing every single time I would drive home in like the months leading to me going to college and us breaking up. So now I have like
Oh
that
my
in
god.
my head just from
Yeah.
hearing you say the name of the song.
Right? Don't
It's
you think it's
crazy.
that's crazy? That's why I love music.
I know. Well, the
I
funny
love
thing
it.
is, the breakup
Yeah.
that I had that playlist from, it was with a guy who worked in music and who like was a musician. And so
Oh, yeah,
for the first few months, I actually couldn't listen to music. I like swore music off because just the concept of music in general like was so painful to me.
put you off.
And
Yeah.
so making that playlist was like my attempt to like take back music.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Can you imagine someone makes you feel that shitty that you stop listening to music for a couple of months? That's
Horrible.
wild.
Literally horrible.
I hope no one does that to me because that's gonna be a tragedy for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Like,
that can't
sorry,
happen. That
sorry,
can't
manager.
happen.
Sorry, manager. I can't write any songs for the next 2 months. I've
Yeah.
just like
I'm just gonna disappear now. You can call me in 90 days.
no, yeah, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Okay. Back to some questions I have. These are kind of more on the fun side.
Oh,
Do you think you've ever been a fuck girl?
do I? Oh, I definitely. I definitely. I've definitely been there before. I'm not saying like I'm perfect. I've had my sort of hot girl summer vibes where I was just having fun and I broke a few hearts, and without realizing it, because when you just don't care, you don't want to date, but then somehow you end up speaking to people and they actually care about you and they actually start liking you, but you're just not in the headspace because you've been through a absolute worst breakup of your life. Well, that happened to me. So I don't know if I would call myself a fuck girl, but definitely, like no strings. How do you say, like no
No strings
strings
attached.
attached type of vibe? I've been there before. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
How do
sure.
you think? Because like obviously, like when you say it like that, it is truly innocent. Like your intention is not to hurt people.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely.
so I guess how do you navigate it, or how can somebody navigate that phase, which is a completely acceptable phase to have that we've all been in, but like how do we do that without, you know, crossing that line where somebody does really get hurt?
I think, I don't know, like honest communication and just being open from the very start of what you want and what your stage, like where you are in life with dating and everything. I think yeah, there's been a few times where I actually wanted to keep it for myself because I didn't want to share that, just because I didn't want to get into sad mode. So people thought, oh, maybe she's ready to date. Well, actually I wasn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, but I think next time if I'm in that situation, I think honest communication and being super open with what you actually want from a person is extremely important. Yeah.
I agree. And I think if people were able to do that more, then we wouldn't feel so screwed over, you know?
Yeah.
And
It's like we're all in our heads in this like era. We're just all in that on our phones, on TikTok, on Instagram. It's just all up here. And we find it so hard to actually connect with someone genuinely because we're all afraid of getting hurt. We're all afraid of just meeting the fuck boy or the guy meeting the fuck girl, or, like the same pattern over and over again. It's like the era of, I don't know, being so scared and emotionally vulnerable. I feel like that's what we are living at the moment. Maybe I should actually write a song about that.
I would listen. I would
See, you're giving
play
me
it on
ideas
repeat.
now. You're making me
Yeah.
talk, and now I have ideas.
I love it. Well, the funny thing
Oh,
is,
God.
it's like we're all so afraid to say what we feel, but
It's true.
in communicating that, that's how we prevent other people from getting hurt. And that's how we prevent ourselves from getting hurt because we're being open about what's going on up here. But we're so afraid to do that because we don't know how. And we think just like the act of being vulnerable is going to come
Yeah.
back to bite us. But like, no, that's what's going to actually tell somebody what's going on in your head and where you're at.
Yeah. So, and I feel like we all know that, but why don't we do that? Like, we all say it, but we don't do it.
I mean, we all know
It's like,
taking vitamins every day is really good for us, but we don't all
we
do
don't,
it.
we don't do it. We do the IV drips instead.
Yeah, when we're feeling like hell, like
But we're
absolute
like,
death.
no, seriously. Have you ever done those? Those are actually really good.
I haven't, except for in a position where like I'm deathly ill and have to go to the ER, and then it like
Oh
cures
my,
me.
maybe I
But
should actually go because like my voice, it is going.
I
I'm
don't
like,
know if that would help with your voice, but maybe.
yeah, no, I know. Every time I do vitamin drips though, because they put magnesium, I feel so sleepy afterwards. Like I feel like I want to take the longest nap ever.
I mean, maybe that
I'm
would
actually
also
not
help.
productive at all.
I don't see how a long nap could make you feel worse. So,
Yeah, that's actually
except
true.
for when
What
you
am I
wake up
even
and you're like,
saying?
wait, what day is it? Where am I?
Yeah, that's what happened to me like 2 days ago. I was like, after that festival, I didn't sleep for 2 days. And I was just like, what dimension am I? And
Yep.
now I'm feeling how do you say, the festival blues?
Yeah,
Festival.
yeah. I get
I'm like,
like
yeah.
post concert depression, PCD, I call it.
Do you get that?
Oh
I
my
get that
god.
all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you do to get over it? Because I feel like I'm still stuck in
Get
that.
tickets for the next one. Have something to look
That's,
forward to.
that's
That's pretty
actually
much the only cure I've found. So it's
well,
a
like, so
deathly
it's just
cycle.
another concept.
Yeah,
Just another concept. Yeah, fuck it.
exactly.
We should do that.
All right.
We should hang in New York, by the way, if you're there now.
Oh, yes.
We
I'm
should
always
definitely
here.
go. We should go to a concert together.
100%.
Please.
Absolutely. And I'll even let you open me up to more music genres other than just
Oh my,
basic pop. Even though I do
please.
have a very like eclectic taste also, I
Yeah.
just gravitate towards basic pop.
Yeah, I love that though. I'm a pop girl at heart. This
Yeah.
is like, it's my number one love is pop. And then I listen to all those different genres because I grew up in different countries. You know, I was raised in Italy and then I came to the UK and then I was also raised here and then I moved to the US. So that's why my brain thinks differently about music. Italian music and British and underground and pop and dance. Ooh.
I was
This
reading
morning I
that
was listening to
about you like
jazz.
before we
Like,
did this, and I was like, that is so cool. I just
yeah.
grew up in a little town outside of New York City that like
I
I
love New York
hated.
though. I wish I was a New Yorker. New Yorkers are savages. I love New York. There's no other people like New Yorkers. Like
Well, I can train you.
straightforward,
Come
super
through. I'll
plain.
train you. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you think once a fuck boy, always a fuck boy, or can people change?
I think people can change for sure, but they can change for the person they love and they can change for the person they actually want to change for. So it has to come from them and not from you. I think sometimes, you know, when we're in a relationship, we always try to like create this picture perfect guy. We try to change this and we tell them don't do that and don't do that, and it's a recipe for disaster because I've been there. I tried to change people and it never worked. So
Never.
one of my biggest lessons that I've learned in my dating life is like, do not try to change them. It has to come from them. Always, always, always. And a guy can change with someone they truly adore and love. And that's when you'll see that happening. Otherwise it's no, game over. You
And on
can't
that
change it.
same note, you shouldn't want to, meet somebody and feel like I have to change this person or,
Yeah, use
they'd
that
be
trauma.
they'd be perfect if, or it would work out if. It's like
Yes.
there's somebody out there who you don't have to change anything about them and they don't have to change anything about you. And like that's worth waiting for and
I love
finding.
that. Yeah, that actually, when you say that, actually makes me feel at peace because, you know, when you meet the right person, you just know. and it feels easy.
Yeah.
I'm talking like I've met the right one, but I haven't. But all my
So
friends
they
are like,
say.
they say, my best friends say that that it's just easy, and it's easy to be with them, and you don't have to feel that pressure, oh my god, do I look good, oh
Yeah.
da, 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 like all that bullshit. So yeah, change has to come from them.
On
Absolutely.
my third date with Jake was the day after I got my COVID vaccine, my first one, and I was not well. Like, he literally had to like put my jacket on for me and cut
Oh my
my
god.
food for me. And after,
God
we were on
bless
this
you.
date for like 4 hours or so, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna go home and watch One Tree Hill for the rest of the day. Like, if you want to come, you can. And he did. And the second I got back to my apartment, I changed into sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and I was like, all right, I'm fully myself with this person. And I feel so
That's
comfortable on a third date doing this.
wow. On a third
Third
date.
date. Changed into sweatpants and a sweatshirt while I was feeling like shit. And that was a really
That's
big
that's
sign for me of
adorable.
like, all right, I can really be myself with this person. As opposed to so many other people I dated where I felt like I had to try so hard and, always be perfect and be putting my best foot forward.
Yeah.
Like, no, this
Yeah.
was just felt so comfortable and natural.
See that, and that's what I was like referring to. It has to feel like that
Yeah,
for you to think, oh, they are the right ones. They make me feel comfortable, even if I look like shit.
exactly. All right. What is your idea of a perfect first date?
Oh my! Oh, I've had some crazy first dates, to be honest. I mean, my
Crazy good or crazy crazy?
crazy good, and also crazy crazy, but crazy good. I don't know, flying somewhere.
Love that.
Like flying some no, that would be like a blind date. I actually never done that on the first date. I did that on the third date. I flew and we had a third date in a different country. Um,
That's like my dream.
that is your dream. Well, tell Jake I want to go somewhere for the weekend.
I've always wanted to go to the airport with a packed bag and just, say, give me a ticket to the next flight that I can get on. And he won't do it with me.
It's the thrill of it. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Also, I'm a foodie. I enjoy food, and I know, that a nice sort of candlelight dinner with incredible Italian food, maybe like a Michelin star because I'm a bougie bitch. Um, that would be really really nice. But yeah, I guess I wouldn't do cinema dates on the first date.
No,
That's like absolute no,
nope.
no go. Cinema dates, no juice dates, no sort of like I want the guy to put a little bit of effort into the first date, and choose something really nice. So yeah, either restaurant, maybe flying somewhere, maybe I don't know.
Flying somewhere to a Michelin star restaurant in Italy.
Fuck yes. I'm Italian,
Done.
so
Done. I
that'd be
love
the
it.
check. That'd be
All
like,
right,
well,
guys
now
listening, you know what to do.
you've got my attention now.
Yeah. What is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on a date?
The most embarrassing thing that has happened. I had to call my best friend. It was like 20 minutes in the date. I realized he was not the right person. He was like a catfish. So he was not the guy I saw on Tinder,
Oh my
right?
God.
And this guy shows up and he's like, older than his pictures. He looks a different body shape, different face, everything. I was like, okay, well, I've been catfished. So then I go to the bathroom. I was like, Katie, please call me. Like, you need to just like pretend like you need my help, this and that. Da, da, da. So my best friend called me. I come back to the table. I'm literally walking with my phone in my hands. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be there like in a second. I'm so sorry. Like, how this happened to you? Da, da, da. I said to the guy, I'm so sorry. Like 20 minutes in, I was
Oh
like, I'm
my
so
God.
sorry. Like, I just have to go. I didn't want to have that catfish conversation. I didn't want to be like, oh, you look different than the pictures and like waste time just saying that. I was just like, I'm so done. I'm just gonna go.
See,
And
normally I'd be like, no, like try and stick it out for the date. But like, that's just if it's a bad date. If they're actually like not who they showed they were and said they were, like, yeah, goodbye, leave
girl, he
now.
he looked completely different from his pictures. Like 10 years older, bigger. Like he looked like an absolute crayfish.
Yeah.
I was just like, OMG, what the fuck do I do? I was like, please call me and tell me you have an emergency. And I was walking. I was like, sorry, I really have to go. Like,
Oh,
I felt bad. I'm just like, you catfish me fully. Like, what
yeah.
am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I support it.
Like,
Okay.
so
And okay, my last question for you, and this is my favorite question to ask, is what is the best piece of dating advice you've ever received?
I've ever received.
Or you've ever heard? Or that
I've
you
ever
have to
had
give?
the best dating. Know your worth. Oh my goodness. This, especially after, the sort of past dating experience that I've had, know my worth, know how to set your standards and set them really, really high. And if they can't reach them, then let them stay below you, because that is honestly what's going to make you like successful in a dating in your dating life. Like knowing your worth and your standards, and then just being yourself. Sometimes we go and we try to appear perfect, or we try to change them. Oh, because he likes volleyball, then I'm going to like volleyball. Or like, because he likes this and I like that. Super confident in your skin. Confidence makes everyone attractive. Everyone. No matter how you look, no matter what you've been through, fake it till you make it, baby. Set standards high and know your worth.
I
These are
love
the
it.
three best pieces of advice I have.
I love it. And I love like the whole know your worth. I know we talked about this earlier too, but like I think there's one line in Boys Will Be Boys that like really stuck out to me. And I was old enough to know it's not my fault. And I think that only comes with, knowing your worth and knowing who you are. And I think that was, one thing that I really struggled with in some of the really bad dating situations I was in, where I would always blame myself or be like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. Oh my
Or
God.
like, what did I do to get in this situation again? And, to be able to go through something that's painful and say, like, you know what, like, this isn't my fault. That's so
Yeah.
empowering.
So, like, yeah, of course, when I say I'm old enough to know it's not my fault, it implies that I've been through those stages where I've learned
Yeah.
what you just said. Like, I am not blaming myself
Yeah.
anymore, because it's not about me. If it's the wrong person, it's just the wrong person. It's not. I haven't done anything, and I know now who I am. But it takes a journey, and it takes
Yeah.
a lot of those like failed experiences, which are fine, but to learn what you are and how you should be in a relationship and what your standards are. So, yeah, absolutely. We shouldn't blame ourselves. I feel like as women just do that all the time, and
All the time.
we're like, yeah, we are strong. We're empowered.
Yeah,
And
we
this is
are.
supposed to empower women. This
And
song.
it is. It is. All right. Where
Yeah.
can everybody listen to Boys Will Be Boys? And is there anything else you're working on that you have coming out that you want people to know about?
Yes, so I actually have another single coming out. I think it's gonna come out in 2 months. It's called Back to Strangers. But Boys Will Be Boys is out on every platform, on Spotify, Apple Music, every platform. There's going to be an acoustic version coming out soon, which I'm very excited about.
I've seen you tease that on TikTok. It sounds so good.
I love it. And yeah, and then, I'm always on TikTok for whoever wants to follow my journey, and on Instagram. And yeah, we can all connect there and have a little chat and share our experiences.
Amazing. Maryon, thank you so much for
This has been a
being
pleasure
here.
to talk to you. It's been amazing.
I love it. And literally, right before this, I recorded me singing along to Boys Will Be Boys, and I am probably going to be using it in the background of every single TikTok I make for the foreseeable future. So it's amazing. I am obsessed. And yeah, I will link everything in the show notes, you guys. And of course, I will share the song and everything you need to know about Maryon to the Instagram story. So make sure you're following along at Seeing Other People. And yes, absolutely, Maryon, I'm so excited to
thank you for
watch this all
me.
blow up and empower people all over the world.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
So much.
Thank you, Maryon. I'll talk to you guys soon.